Hey guys, it's me again. Welcome to the next episode in my Metaverse Breakout series. This time I'm going to be focusing on something that should help any microbiology students out there with your gram stains and your unknown organisms. In this instance, we're going to be figuring out what constitutes a gram positive or a gram negative organism. So first, here's the setup. So Stewie's trying to figure out an organism, but he can't. I'm not even going to try the accent. Can't seem to figure out which gram, or to figure out the cell wall structure of this organism, period. And then Dexter say, well, let's give it a break and try again tomorrow. And then I'll have Stewie say, actually, I've set the computer to lock us in here until we can figure out the organism. We're stuck in here until we know what we're dealing with. Let's see. Alright, so now I'll have Dexter ask, well, oh boy. Well, what have you learned about it thus far, period. Alright, and so now we have our question. Or actually, instead of having him ask what, and I forgot to put a period, so well, let's start from the top. Do you think this is a gram negative or gram positive organism I can't spell right now. Organism. Okay, and then now we'll start the actual question. We'll have Stewie say something along the lines of, do I think it's an do I think it's gram positive or negative, ... And so now we'll have our clues plural, and then we'll have our answer. And so with our clues, I'll have Dexter say something along the lines of, actually, I'll give him the main traits. Spoilers, our organism is gram-negative, so what Dexter's going to say is, does it have a, let's see, actually, is it your organism has a thin peptidoglycan. No, wrong word. I missed one. Peptidoglycan layer is resistant to most antibiotics and turned up red after gram stain, period. So those are our clues. And as I mentioned before, this is probably going to be the most effective for someone who's familiar with microbiology. You can definitely do the research and learn this stuff even if you're not taking a class in micro, if you're not a, enthusiast about microbiology. But to even understand those terms, you'll have to have some knowledge of microbiology, or at the very least gram staining. But okay, so now we're going to have our answer. And so our answer is going to be gram negative. Oh, definitely don't want to put it up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have this transition to scene 7, and then I need a block that's going to test our response. And then in this instance, we're going to use response, not equals. Some people put the hyphen, other people put a space when they type the word gram negative. So what I'm going to do is search that the user must have the word negative. Users must have the word negative in it. So that way they put in gram negative, then it will, this should be transition to block. So response contains the word negative. And if it doesn't contain that, then we'll have this go back to scene 5. So that way they might need to read the question again in the first place, but then if it does succeed, not another string. In this case, we'll have a character scene, and then we'll put in this picture that I have of gram negative and gram positive bacteria. So now that they've succeeded, they'll be given this message at the end, which says, excellent, you've deduced that your organism is gram negative. Now we still have more, I should say, but we still have more tests to run. ... Because gram staining is the very first part, for the most part, in unknown organisms, but it certainly is not the last. So they figured out that it's a gram negative organism, sure, but that doesn't really do much. That doesn't really do much to tell you anything else about it. Does it ferment lactic acid? What kind of motility does it have? Those sorts of tests you have to continue to do, and so I actually think I'll make a whole series on the whole process of finding an unknown organism, and starting with gram staining is the best place to start, because when you're actually doing the test, that's where you start, is you try to figure out the gram stain. So alright, let me go ahead and test this out. I'm going to see if this works. Alright, everything looks like it's working out just fine. Blast. I can't seem to figure out the cell wall structure of the organism. Well, let's give it a break. Try again tomorrow. Actually, yes, so the computer to lock us in here until we can figure out the organism. We're stuck in here until we know what we're dealing with. Oh boy. Well, let's start from the top. Do you think this is a gram negative or gram positive organism? Then clues: your organism has a thin peptidoglycan layer, is resistant to most antibiotics, and turned red. Gotta get rid of that U after gram staining. Sorry about that. Okay, but so the answer is going to be gram negative. Excellent. You deduce that your organism is gram negative. We still have more tests to run. Alright, so I got a few typos to fix. Let's see. Gotta get rid of this U that showed up out of nowhere. Then I also need to make sure that that's gram negative. Don't know what gram negative is. Negative grandma. And then lastly, I'm gonna just go ahead and retype this sentence. I typed it a little bit awkwardly, so let's see. Because I can't seem to figure out the figure out what organism this is. It could be E. coli. I always misspell E. coli. Yeah. So E. Escherichia coli. I always have a tough time with that. E. coli or Ebola, for all I know. Period. Alright, and so with those changes, it makes a big difference. So yeah, I think I'm going to do more episodes on gram staining, or not gram staining, but unknown organisms, and we'll go through the whole process, and should be a lot of fun. But for now, thank you for watching this video, and have a good day.